Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Today we continue in our learning with Rabbi Itzhak Ginsburg on the mystery of marriage. Last week we were discussing the outcome when a marriage is not going well and everything has been done to save the marriage, and not even with that people are able to sustain it, and actually eventually the Torah gives a solution. It's actually a mitzvah of the Torah, which is called divorce, and it's not the most wanted outcome in a relationship, but it's sometimes the relationship can only be fixed with a divorce, and it's very sad. It says that even the walls of the temple cry when a couple divorces themselves. So even if it is decided that divorce is necessary, there is no reason that the couple should bear any ill will towards each other. Like, sadly, in most cases of divorce, the most traumatic part of it is the anger and the resentment that each one of them feels. And they're not being able to, after divorce, be able to have a relationship in which they are focused on the well-being of their children and not being creating more animosity and more pain in each other's lives. So Rabbi Ginsburg says that in line with the attitudes outlined above, they should consider the time they spent together a decree of divine providence. Like, sometimes people feel like if they divorce their spouse, they messed up. I did something wrong. Why did I marry this person? I shouldn't have married this person. And so all these feelings of regret start going up into this person's life, which don't allow them to move forward and makes them depressed and angry and resentful people. So what the Torah teaches us is that even if the divorce is a solution, even if the problems of this marriage end up in a divorce, the couple has to know that it was not a mistake, that they were married and they lived together and they produced children together was not a mistake. It was meant to be. Actually, your first spouse is really your basher. This is a person that is meant to be for you. So if it doesn't work out, at least have in mind that the children that came out of the union, or any productivity that came out of that union, was really meant to come through that relationship, and these children had to come to this world through that set of parents. So even if it was the worst divorce, at least the couple were able to bring something holy and beautiful into the world. And this is the concept that people should have in their minds when sadly they come to this conclusion to not live together anymore and divorce. So it says here that yet again, despite these consolations, divorce should always be considered the final resort, only contemplated when all of the other approaches have failed. So this I have repeated many times, and I'll keep repeating it. Divorce is the last resource. You do everything in your life to be able to save a marriage, unless the problem comes from abuse. It can be mental, psychological, sexual abuse. When there's abuse in a relationship, then you really have to get out of it, because you don't have to be there. It's not gonna fix itself. An abusive partner is an abusive partner, has mental illness. It's very hard to fix. So for our sages say the altar itself sheds tears when one divorces his first wife. And then it comes to talk about when a couple decides to divorce, they should really consider if what they're going to do is going to make their lives better. If they're fixing something or they're not fixing something. Sometimes people divorce and they think they're free and they're going to have a better life, and in reality they're not free and they don't have a better life. Other problems come into their lives and nothing was fixed, and they just have to keep on fixing whatever has to be fixed. Like, we come into this world to do tikkun olam, to perfect the world. So whatever is our portion in this world to be fixed, If by divorcing we didn't fix what had to be fixed, then that portion of the world is going to follow us wherever we go. And this is something that we really have to keep in mind. If by divorcing this person, am I going to really be able to be free from whatever is going around in my life? But if it's something that's going to be following you, it's better to stick around and just fix whatever has to be fixed. So the first nature and second nature, here Rabbi Ginsburg is talking about our sages teach us that one first wife is his predestined soulmate, while should he need to marry a second time after a divorce, his second wife is given to him in the merit of his deeds. So it says, the first wife is meant to be, is the person that was assigned to you by Hashem in heaven. The second wife or the second husband really is the one you deserve. And this is a very scary concept, because depending on where you are in life, how you grew from this experience, if you are able to rectify yourself and master yourself and refine yourself, then the second spouse you're going to find in life is going to be it's going to be someone that is going to be compatible to where you are. But if you're still not a nice person and you're still screaming at everybody and you're still not patient and you're still not like you should be, then the second marriage is not going to be better. Because in reality, our relationships are mirrors of ourselves. Like, it's a mirror. When people are screaming at you in the street, or you go to a place and someone screams at you, it's a mirror. Hashem is trying to show you something. He's trying to show you how you should not be, or feel empathy towards other people, whatever it is, but it's a mirror. You're learning from that. Don't take it so personal. Look at it in a way in which Hashem is showing you something. He's showing you something. And so in that way, if a person is not being able to correct whatever needs to be corrected, then the second wife or the second husband is going to come to still teach you whatever you have to learn. But if you're already corrected that part of yourself and you're already in a different place, then the person that's going to come into your life is also going to be according to that place where you are. And here he says, if one gets married before he has begun or progressed very far in the process of self-rectification, what he searches for in a spouse will be accordingly colored by his unrectified perceptions. He's apt to confuse a transitory thrill for a sense of predestined affinity and embroil himself in a relationship that has no real basis. So we have to be very careful. Marriage is not a simple thing. Marriage is something very deep, and it's where two souls are connected in one. Like it's two separate souls, but in reality, you have to become one. And still, we are taught that ever since the exile from the Garden of Eden, there is no good in which there is not an element of evil. So when Hava and Adam sinned, what they did was that they mixed the evil with the good. Before that, everything was good. There was no evil. But the moment they took from the tree, then the evil aspects of the world were mixed into the goodness of the world. And sometimes it's very hard to separate the two. Sometimes we think this is good and reality is not good. And the only way in which we can know what is good and what is not good is by following the Torah. The Torah is the truth. It's the emet. It's the will of Hashem. And by following Torah, then we know this is right, this is wrong. But ourselves alone, we have no way of knowing, because it's a very thin line. We can get very confused. So what it says here is, thus there is perforce a kernel of reality in the initial feelings this couple feel for each other, even though it is channeled through less than an ideal motives. It nonetheless expresses a deep unconscious connection that will always occupy a special place in these individual psyches. So whatever is not fixed, whatever is not corrected, it's going to be in your subconscious, and it's going to keep on popping up in your life. And so if this core of true affinity can be isolated and developed, the couple can indeed transform their relationship into a second marriage. as they progressively refine themselves and rectify their perspectives. What Rabbi Ginsburg is saying here is that if you're able to rectify that part of you in your first marriage, if both of you are working to achieve this greatness within each other, then the relationship will go like if it's a second marriage, because it's not going to be only your basher, but it's also the person you deserve. Deserve in the sense that that's the person that you need for you to be able to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. So your wife, your first wife, will become that person that you deserve. So conversely, if the parties are seeking their mates based on rectified and proper perspectives, even their initial attraction will be based on their rectified natures. To the extent that they refine themselves, they will be able to identify their predestined soulmates in the context of those qualities that provide a solid basis for lasting relationship. So what he's saying is that when we're able to rectify ourselves through our marriage, through our first spouse, then not only that person is going to be deserving of you and you're going to be deserving of them, but you're also going to be able to always identify the root of the soul, that you're connected, that you're one, that you come from the same place. So this marriage that was not good before suddenly takes a whole different turn, and people start appreciating each other and what they bring to you, how important it is to have this wife in my life. She's the key to my greatness, and he's the key to my greatness. So in this case, their second marriage will be coincident with their first. They will be able to synthesize the intensity of raw attraction in their second rectified natures. So we'll finish here today, and remember to love each other a little more every day, to hug each other a little more every day, to appreciate each other a little bit every day, to care about each other more a little bit every day. And in this way, we will be able to transform our marriages into what we really deserve. And I want to wish you a happy week, a great week, and live a little higher. Thank you.